Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, my remote class. I hope you are all fine and doing great. Today I shall take class on respiration. So let's start. Now before starting respiration, let's go back to nutrition topic once more. In nutrition, we have seen that we have to take food in order to produce energy so that we can perform all the life activities. Actually, these foods materials don't produce any energy directly, but they are required to produce energy. So what happens whenever we take food? The digestion takes place. What does it mean by digestion? It is a process by which the complex food substances are broken down into smaller food substances or simple food substances with the help of enzymes. Then what happens next? They gets absorbed. Where does this absorption takes place? This absorption takes place in small intestine. These simpler food particles mix with the blood and get carried to the cells, and they remain there as cellular food. And what happens? We breathe in oxygen. That oxygen is again carried by the blood to the cells, and there this cellular food gets oxidized in presence of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water and energy. Now whatever happens, the glucose gets converted into pyruvate. Now glucose is a 6 carbon molecule and pyruvate is a 3 carbon molecule, and this conversion takes place in cytoplasm. And when it happens, we can see that 3 scenarios. The first one, it may happen in presence of oxygen. The second one, it may happen in absence of oxygen. And there is the third one, which happens lack of oxygen. In case of absence of free oxygen, ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy is produced, and in case of lack of oxygen, lactic acid. And now during producing this energy, oxygen may be required or oxygen may not be required. Whatever it may be, the glucose gets converted into pyruvate. Now glucose is a 6 carbon molecule and it gets converted into 3 carbon molecule within cytoplasm, and there we can see 3 scenarios. One may happen in presence of oxygen, one may happen in absence of oxygen, and another happen in case of lack of oxygen. Now in presence of oxygen, carbon dioxide, water and energy is produced, whereas in case of absence of oxygen, ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy is produced. And the lack of oxygen scenario happens when we exercise a lot, and then the stored glycogen is exhausted and oxygen is also get reduced, and as a result carbon dioxide accumulates and lactic acid also accumulates. This is called the muscle fatigue. And what happens? This lactic acid is carried to the liver by blood, and then it is again converted back to pyruvate and the processed normally in the remaining reactions of cellular respiration. So what is respiration? It is actually a biological process in which the glucose is broken down with the help of oxygen and energy is released along with the production of carbon dioxide and water. Now we can categorize the types of respiration. Respiration may be of 2 types broadly: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Now what happens in case of aerobic respiration? This process takes place in presence of free oxygen, and it takes place within the mitochondria, and it produces carbon dioxide, water and energy in the form of 38 molecules of ATP. Now what is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. What happens in anaerobic respiration? This is the process of respiration that does not take place in the presence of free oxygen, and it produces carbon dioxide, ethanol and 2 molecules of ATP. So the amount of energy released here is much less. And there is another kind of respiration. Actually this is a form of anaerobic respiration. This is known as fermentation, but there is a basic difference between anaerobic respiration and fermentation. Anaerobic respiration takes place within the cell, so it is an intracellular process, whereas the fermentation takes place outside the cell. That means it is an extracellular process. And anaerobic respiration takes place in absence of oxygen, whereas in case of fermentation, little amount of oxygen actually stimulates the activity. So this is the basic difference between anaerobic respiration and fermentation. Now let's see what happens in case of green plants. In case of green plants, the photosynthesis takes place during daytime, and in photosynthesis the green plants require carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and and chlorophyll as raw materials, and as this carbon dioxide is used up for making glucose, so it is not released to the environment, rather oxygen is released to the environment, but at night carbon dioxide is released to the environment. Also keep in mind that the green plants or any plants do not have any specific or any definite respiratory organ, and this respiration takes place through the stomata of leaves. The exchange of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, take place through the stomata of leaves by diffusion process. Now there are lots of differences between photosynthesis and respiration. Photosynthesis takes place during daytime in presence of sunlight, whereas respiration takes place all the time. Photosynthesis takes place in green plants, whereas respiration takes place in all organisms. In case of photosynthesis, the glucose is produced, and in case of respiration, the glucose is broken down. Photosynthesis is an anabolic process where something new is produced from the simpler compound substances. For example, carbon dioxide, water produces glucose in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, whereas in case of respiration, the glucose is broken down into carbon dioxide and water. That means here just the reverse is happening, so it is a catabolic reaction. And photosynthesis, it uses carbon dioxide, whereas in case of respiration, oxygen is used up. The dry weight is increased in case of photosynthesis, so this is another typical thing of anabolic reactions or anabolic activities, whereas in case of respiration the dry weight is decreased, so this is another typical scenario of catabolic activities. Now what happens in case of aquatic animals? Aquatic animals, the breathing rate of them is faster. Why? This is due to the less amount of oxygen dissolved in the water body, and fishes take in water through their mouths and force it to the gills, from where the dissolved oxygen is absorbed by the blood. Now what happens in case of terrestrial animals? They use atmospheric oxygen, and different animals use different organs for breathing. Now let's see what happens in case of us. When we breathe in, the air enters from the outside environment, the body, either through external nostrils or through mouth. They have to travel through the nasal path. This nasal path is surrounded by nasal hairs and mucus. Actually they act as filters to prevent the dust particles enter further inside our body, and then the air enters the nasopharynx through the internal nostrils, and air passes larynx, and air passes through the windpipe, which has rings of cartilages that prevent the windpipe or the trachea from collapsing. Keep it in mind that esophagus also runs parallel to our windpipe, and there is every possibility of getting choked if we talk during eating, and the food particles may enter inside the windpipe. So there is a lid known as the epiglottis, which prevents the food particles to enter the glottis. Air divided into two passages, the two bronchi, and then they again gets divided further to bronchioles, and finally they reach alveoli of two lungs. Now this is the picture which is showing the inhalation process. Here is the boy who is taking in or breathing in oxygen or air, and this oxygen is entering either through the external nostrils or through the mouth, and then it travels to the pharynx and larynx, and then to the trachea, and then it gets divided into left and right bronchi. They further divided to bronchioles, and finally the air reaches the alveoli. Now the alveoli are surrounded by blood capillaries. As a result, they look pinkish, and the diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place here, and this oxygen is carried to the cells through the bloodstream, and this oxygen going there just burns up the cellular food or the glucose to produce carbon dioxide, water and energy. Now let's see what happens in case of exhalation process. It happens just the reverse. The blood stream carries the carbon dioxide produced during this respiration process or the cellular respiration process, and it brings the carbon dioxide to the alveoli. From there it reaches the bronchioles. From there it again goes to left and right bronchi. From there to the trachea or the windpipe. From there it reaches pharynx and larynx, and finally it goes to the environment either through the external nostrils or through the mouth. Now this is a picture which is showing what happens in inspiration and what happens in expiration. In inspiration or inhalation, the lung volume is increased. As a result, the rib cage also expands and the diaphragm contracts. That means it moves down and the air pressure drops. And what happens in case of exhalation or expiration? The lung volume decreases, the rib cage also retracts, and the diaphragm relaxes or moves up, and the air pressure increases. So this is all about respiration. I hope you have understood the topic respiration. If you have any query or if you have any problem, then do write in the comment section box. I shall definitely reply. If you like my video, then do comment, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.